lion's share. It's the lion's share. It's the lion's share. It's the lion's share.
Welcome back. Welcome into the lion's share off-season and wildcard weekend. And boy, has it ever been a wildcard weekend. Every game coming down to the wire, it seems, and including this one right now that's going on between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. We're at the 2-minute warning in that one, so we'll have a live little play-by-play of that as this one goes down, because it seems like every game in this division, in this wildcard round, I should say, has been nothing but wild. Lions not involved in this wildcard round, which really hurts, but we're going to talk about who's the OC. Who we got? Because John Morton, since the last time we recorded, John Morton, not a big surprise, but he's gone. And yeah, we'll talk about who the potential options are to fill that position. As always, you can watch us on YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can comment on YouTube. And you can also watch on Spotify video. Andrew, welcome back, my friend. I think we've got Mufasa here in a few minutes. We'll get the three-man crew once again. But Andrew, what's been going on, and what have you made of this wild card weekend thus far?
Well, what's been going on, we've been coping with our feelings. We've been trying to grasp with the fact that football does exist, but we don't really care about it in the sense that we want to care about it. So we've been hate watching football. Last night was a heavy hate watch of football. Oof, those Chicago Bears, let me tell you something. It looks scary. They will play you down to the wire. On the other side of it, though, glad Johnny Moe's gone. I mean, I don't think I'm the only one that's saying that. Am I crazy? Was there no other firings in the office?
That was it from what I've heard. Nothing with the training staff. Although I don't know if those ones are so public as the prominent positions.
Yeah, I just figured, if it happened early, we'd hear about it just from the clearinghouse aspect of it. I don't know if you listen to Brad Holmes talk to the media.
A lot of eyes on that.
Yeah, or what your thoughts were. Made me feel a little leery for what's to come here. It doesn't seem like anything new is going to happen. Nothing splashy for sure. Not many moves. Build through the draft. Once again, we have the pieces in place type of deal. Brad, you better figure it out.
Yeah, this is our magnifying glass on him and Dan Campbell and that whole front office this offseason, because you're right. Kind of out of that honeymoon stage where we had the fresh new Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes. It was like, oh my gosh, we haven't had nice things our whole lives. We've been stricken with poor front office, head coach, players, all of the things, right? So it was nice to have a breath of fresh air and have some newness and some new approaches that were really working. And now it's kind of at that point where push is going to come to shove, right? That they nailed some of those opening drafts that they had, did a lot of moves that made them get to a spot that I think we weren't anticipating to happen so quickly with the turnaround, going from a poor start in Dan's first year to a quick turnaround, and then all of a sudden they're in the NFC Championship game. So it all happened way faster than I think the schedule predicted, and now we're kind of in that weird in-between stage where it's like, well, how good are they actually? You're going to have to prove it this offseason and with the product that's coming out next season. It's big time prove it year.
Yeah, and I think the biggest deal is that some of these developmental pieces just didn't hit, and like the plan that was in place didn't, and now we're going to kind of see, here's where you get your strengths as a GM, right? Like, you built it through the draft, you did a good job. Some of these things that you thought were going to hit didn't hit. Now, how do you pivot from here? So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do as an office.
Yeah. Look, they've had some good drafts, and they've had, like I mentioned in the last episode, and kind of what you just said, echoing that, A lot of projects on those draft boards, and those are great when they work out, when you get a huge value deep in the draft, but it's kind of bang or bust. Some of these guys have turned out incredible and have performed beyond their expectations, and other guys haven't seen the field, or have, in their time that they have been on the field, it's been nothing meaningful. So it's been bang or bust. No other way to put it. We've got 4th and 11 for the Eagles right now with 43 seconds down 4. Here's the play for the Eagles. Season on the line. Andrew, for those watching on YouTube, spoiler alert, we've got an incomplete pass broken up by, who is that? Number 43 for the 49ers, Kendricks. Wow. Philly's season over, although they do have 2 timeouts, but Philly's season over. Are you prepared to declare them done?
I was ready to declare them done in our pigskin spin.
Oh, we still have the spin?
I picked the Niners.
When?
Scroll down, dog. Scroll down in the dock.
Hold on. Let me see what this guy's talking about. Oh, that's right. You had them in the Super Bowl versus the Patriots, the Pat Riots. That's right. Totally forgot about that.
Well,
but you also have parentheses Bears and Chargers. Those are like your total not picks, but picks if that happens, they were totally your picks.
I was trying to remember why those got into parentheses, honestly.
You had originally picked the Bears, and I believe Mitch said, you can't do that. And you bowed down. Speaking of which,
you power to Mitch pretty quick.
He owns you. He owns the pigskin spin, and I guess when you own the pigskin spin, you can own the podcast.
Yeah, he discount double checked me.
Big time. Speaking of which, are we going to get a hat reveal? You've got the hood on right now, and infamously always wearing the fresh caps provided by the longtime Lion. You've got nearly every team at this point. Are we ready for a reveal? Shout out to the YouTube. If you're watching or listening to this in the audio format at about the 8-minute mark, switch over to YouTube or switch over to Spotify video and watch this.
I know you're a big corduroy guy, and I've got a few of them. Got some corduroy here. I saw you guys texting about that Bears hat. So, I thought I'd give you those Pat Riots, baby.
Tommy, a little off.
What are we on here?
A little delayed there, but wow, you got the Pat Riots, would establish 1960?
Oh, yeah.
The Pat Riots don't go back further than that. Aren't they from like the 1700s?
The hat says the 1960s.
I would have thought it would have been 1776, myself.
Nah. That's guerrilla warfare.
Wow. Let's shout out to history class. Throwback there. Haven't heard that one in a while. Well, back to the draft talk. That's a beautiful hat, by the way. Does it have the little ribbon across the bill there? Yep, of course. Classic, as they all do these days. Is that a new era?
No,
it's a 4-7.
4-7.
Yeah. Snapback?
No. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. How's it fit?
Like part of recess, dude.
Oh, yeah, I see it. And then we got a little writing above the...
Oh, yeah, what is this? What is
strong?
That's for people who can read cursive. I don't know.
Yeah, do they even teach cursive anymore?
Can't be me.
Couldn't be me either. No cursive. Well, closing up the draft talk, in watching some of these games this wildcard weekend, I couldn't help but notice some of the names out there making plays, rookies or second-year guys that were on my list for the Lions to draft, and they're out there performing pretty well. And obviously, of course, revisionist history, but guys like Nick Scorton for the Carolina Panthers, Texas A&M product, everybody wanted the Lions to draft an edge last year, and they did eventually, but not as soon as some would have hoped. That was a name that was available deep in the first round and all the way into the second round. Doing good things for Carolina and that defense that's flying around. But yeah, all that to say, big time draft watching this week or this upcoming offseason. All eyes are on the front office. Anybody you mentioned, you asked about anybody else losing their job besides the OC, Johnny Moe. Anybody that you would expect to lose their position?
I don't know if it's so much expect, and obviously it's a little too early for this. I guess I'm just a little used to, especially after the last 2 seasons, like, who are we losing?
Mm-hmm.
More of the deal. It seems like we lose so many each year that it's like, all right, where do we got to reload at?
Well, they lost their tight ends coach to Iowa State or Iowa. I can't recall which team in college football was going to make that transition. That one happened, boy, about a month ago. I think in December at that point. It was well before the season was over. And then, like I told you guys in the chat, Mike Disner was interviewing for the Atlanta. I don't know if that was the president GM job that Matt Ryan ultimately took. So they're going to retain Disner, it looks like, but he's a guy that is probably going to take a job from. Here's a guy. Now here's a guy. He's a guy that's probably going to get a job somewhere else eventually, unless the Lions promote him.
Now here's a guy who's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
Mufasa himself in the trenches.
Boys, parenting is hard. There's no doubt about it.
Father of 2, by the way.
Yep.
Is it
little poop in the tub? I think most of us have been there.
Oh, I didn't know if
Poop
we
in
were.
the tub, followed by some more poop, and then you know,
waffle it down.
tamper. I tried to. It felt like in a show where or like John Wick, you know, when he kills a bunch of people and he just brings in the cleaners. That's what I felt like. The cleaners afterwards.
Oh, I
And
thought
we still had to throw some food away.
I was frightened.
Yeah, I don't know where that was going. About to take a dark turn.
No. Yeah, I just had to get there in a roundabout way. But hey, you know what? F the Eagles. That was fun, right?
Yeah, down go the Eagles. I didn't see that one coming. I thought San Fran was about to, or I thought the Eagles were about to score there. Truthfully,
It's like another Legion of Whom situation. And you know what? Good for everybody. I feel like Purdy and McCaffrey, 2 guys pretty easy to root for, especially McCaffrey. Just one of those guys that's like you just want him to get one because he deserves one. Robert Saleh, who just had to endure the New York Jets ownership. Good for him too. And I feel like he's getting some looks for head coaching jobs again. But I like it. Eagles are out. Chiefs are out. Things are okay.
honestly, yeah, that's the beauty of all of this. No Chiefs, no Eagles now. And so with San Fran winning, does that mean they play Chicago at this point?
I believe so. Yeah,
Because the NFC is set with only the AFC the 2 remaining games, Sunday Night Football and Monday Night, are both AFC. So
no, it's because 49ers were the 6th seed.
correct.
Chicago gets Rams, I think, right?
See,
It should be. Is it not Seahawks 49ers?
yeah, if they're the 6th seed, right? Yep, you're right.
Because yeah, it should be.
Oof, that's a tough draw for the 49ers. Although I know going into the playoffs, there's talk about Fred Warner could return in the divisional round if they made it that far. So if they got Fred Warner back, that could change that outcome. It's enough to
Wasn't
do
his
that.
ankle backwards or broken?
I can't recall. They've had a lot of injuries, have the 49ers. Bosa, Warner, Kittle today.
Listen, I'm kind of just at like I think we've talked about it. I would prefer the Rams to win because I think it does a lot for Stafford, but I'm kind of team anyone but the Bears at this point.
Ooh, you telling me that didn't fire you up last night?
What? What was supposed to fire me up?
It was a good game, man. It was a good game.
No, first of all, you're not paying attention, bud. 2 kids, I was sleeping. It was 21-6, and I thought, okay, see you later, Bears. And then that's why I texted you guys that. It's like everyone's making fun of the Packers. We did it. The Lions did it. They were up 24-7 at halftime to go to the Super Bowl, and then they pissed down their legs.
It was extremely unfortunate that you sent that in the group chat because I'm not gonna lie, last night that's all I could think of. But I didn't want to be the one that had said this aloud. I was also
everybody should have been thinking it.
Well, CJGJ, was he on the field? I always hurt. Was he in the facility?
Who cares?
I mean, happens twice and for the same guy, crazy. He was on
Lightning
the other
strikes
side.
twice. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to think about. And I was upset when you sent that. And of course, 28-3 Falcons. LaFleur was on that team as well. So all those things. I'm with you though, Mitch. It would be, and it's kind of got that feel the Bears do a little bit, like Team of Destiny. Like things are just bouncing their way, and I hate that. I hate that a lot, and I'm already sick of them. Even though this is kind of their first year turning it around with Ben Johnson, but
that's why it's trash. You you don't deserve a 1-year turnaround like this. That's not fair.
We got a not fair. He's got stamping it.
Not fair. It's not fair. I don't want to have to watch the Bears win and clean poop out of a tub. That's bullshit. And you know what? Caleb Williams just stinks. I'm sorry. Like the cockiness that comes out of a dude who posted a 50% completion percentage and 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Good for you, dude.
How about the form on the cheese grating though?
No.
And how many cheese graters? How did they get so many cheese graters into that stadium? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I hope they get trounced next weekend. I hope that Stafford's hand is okay. It looked fine towards, as the game went on a little bit. Probably some medical assistance there, but I hope his hand's okay, and I hope they absolutely rough them up.
So did the Rams and Bears play this season? They did, right? Or no, that was 2024 when they played. Never mind. Disregard. That plays nothing into this, even though the Bears did beat them in 2024, which is kind of crazy to think about. Eberflus Bears beat them. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think that's a good matchup though for the Rams. Honestly, that's not a bad draw. I know they struggled against the Panthers, but I feel like on paper they match up better.
No joke though. And Ben, you've said it. We talked about it. Like the Bears' defense is they have to have turnovers. They have to have turnovers.
Stafford loves to throw INTs.
This is true. He threw a very bad one yesterday.
Hopefully, got him out of his system though. There. Weather could play into that game as well, being in Chicago. I can't believe Chicago gets obviously a 2 seed. They're guaranteed to get 2, but it's tough. It puts the Lions in a tough position when you're watching the Bears play the Packers on a weekend that you're not a part of. That there's no way you spin that. Any way you spin that's bad.
The opening lines so far next week: Seahawks 6.5. Rams 4.5. Seahawks
I like Rams.
Just a little disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean that's a divisional matchup. Teams that have already matched up twice this season. I can't recall if they split or if the Hawks took both of those. I can't recall, but 4.5 over the Rams 4.5. I like that one a lot. I think that plays.
Okay, there you have it, folks.
Not gambling advice. 1-800-GAMBLER.
1-800-GAMBLER.
What do we got?
I came in hot. What were you guys talking about?
Andrew unveiled his new hat.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We were talking recipes. No mute monsters, nothing like that. We were talking about OC next, though.
No. Did you got Andrew?
Guys just throwing out red herrings left and right. This is fake news.
Yes. Shade.
I'm seeing in the doc here. Is that DB? Is that official?
David Blau?
Yeah.
Mitch texted it a few days ago, yeah.
Signed? Wow.
Ink is dry, my friend.
Like the rise. It's kind of crazy. I feel like I got a similar vibe from Blau and Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's obviously a little different, although it's not like he was playing that long ago. It's like, all right, now he's president of, I think, Falcons operations. And the David Blau thing is crazier, but maybe not, because I feel like your president has to be very operationally savvy. What has Matt Ryan been doing behind, you know what I mean? Like, how does he learn? But David Blau is crazy. David Blau must be an absolute savant to go from, was he assistant QB coach to OC?
I'm
He was
so
just playing for
confused.
the Lions like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I
don't
know.
get it.
He's got like 1 year of coaching under his belt.
But his
Everybody
wife's an
loves the
Olympic
young
athlete.
coach right now, though. What was that?
His wife's an Olympic athlete, right? So
Oh, that's true. Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
yeah, so he's got organizational
Hard Knocks was
skills.
so fun. Remember when
Remember
we had
those
no
times?
expectations? Life was fun.
Those were great times, yeah. Anything good that happened was a bonus. Everything was good. And it was chill because there were no expectations. Like you said, no stress when you're not expecting anything. Yeah, it kind of feels like there's a new trend with the presidents in the front office where teams are taking, similar to Brady in Las Vegas there with the Raiders. Seems like the Falcons are trying to pull a page out of that book, try to take Matt Ryan. And so maybe we'll see more of that. But Commanders, yeah, they hired David Blau as the new offensive coordinator. He's climbing the ranks, and I think would have been a good option for the Lions, truthfully. Obviously had history with the organization, but seems like a great young talent. Other names on the list, of course, Mike McDaniel got fired from the Dolphins, so he's an option. Jake Peetz, Seahawks passing game coordinator, is a big name the Lions like, I guess. Mike LaFleur, currently on the Los Angeles Rams offensive coaching staff. Cliff Kingsbury's name out there, though, not a lot of spark there with him. And then, of course, Brian Daboll. So, out of those names, boys, what are you thinking? Are you feel like there's anything that leans in the direction of the Lions taking any of these guys?
To me, the best one feels like McDaniel, but I can see him wanting a head coach role. Feels like it just feels, I mean, obviously we've all said it. He doesn't feel like the head coach guy. Feels like the OC role or a step down. Maybe he should just, take a year off from a head coaching role. See what it's like in the OC spot.
Take the Saleh role, like Mitch highlighted. Saleh doing great things once again in San Francisco. He's right back to it. Probably gets another head coaching job out of it, and maybe a better opportunity than he got with the Jets, which was a bad situation.
I don't see Mike LaFleur. I mean, Mike LaFleur's going to be a head coach, I think, or he's just going to stay with the Rams. There's really no reason for him to bounce around, I don't think. I like McDaniel, but yeah, probably lands somewhere as a head coach. So feels like Daboll is maybe the most sensible option. What's going on with Cliff? Yeah, it feels like there's not a lot of buzz about him right now.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on it, honestly. Let's see. Let's do a quick Google search.
Which feels weird because like they had a good offense and they still had a good offense. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, kind of the sacrificial lamb, I guess. Let's see. Cliff Kingsbury's next move could be the ultimate slap in the face for Dan Quinn. Love these quick clickbait articles. Guess he interviewed for the Titans head coaching job, which would be crazy to see him back as a head coach role. I don't see Kingsbury getting that. Like I told you guys, Mike McDaniel interviewing with the Titans this coming Wednesday. Brian Callahan, their former head coach, was probably the most vanilla guy you could ever have as a head coach, and you could totally 180 that by bringing in Mike McDaniel, because that'd be a vastly different operation. But I don't know. I don't know if he gets a head coaching job or takes a court. I would love to have him in Detroit. I think that would be the most exciting thing. It seems almost too good to be true, like a no-brainer situation if you could get Mike McDaniel as a offensive coordinator with his team. That would excite me and get me excited again about these Lions. That's for sure.
I agree. I think McDaniel would be like option 1 for me. Daboll's 2, and I don't know what happens to Kingsbury, but I mean, he's 3. But I just saw he's getting interest from the Chiefs, and it's just he's gonna go somewhere and just light it up.
Speaking of names out there, Andrew, I know you got something, but I just think it's hilarious to see Matt Nagy getting head coaching interviews again. That's
and Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's getting looks too. It's like, we just think these guys are gonna keep, like, they're somehow gonna learn we've talked about this. Like, there just aren't really examples of guys who have failed as head coaches, gone back to coordinators, and then come back to coaching and done well. And then we've referenced the Jim Schwartz of the world. Who's the Josh McDaniel? Like these guys that just can't seem to do it. And we just think like the guys that just do skip the coordinator roles, and except Nagy, I'm talking about McCarthy specifically now. Not that the Cowboys were ever bad, but he got fired from the Packers for the same thing, which I kind of think LaFleur is stuck in now too, just this cyclical mediocrity. And I think it's like it's getting to be tough. If I'm a Packers fan, I'm getting a little impatient. I guess you can blame Micah Parsons this year, but it's not like you have draft capital now. I mean, you do, but you don't have first-round draft capital to address your needs. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It's going to be interesting to see. I feel like we're going to get some real no-names as head coaches next year, and probably just this feels like a bad the start to a bad long-term coaching carousel.
You telling me I'm going to be struggling here in the near future?
It's gonna be a lot of
It's gonna be lots of Matt Smiths out there.
There it is. I was looking for it.
Yeah, it seems weird that we're at this point where our like the most like the biggest thing we have to look forward to, splashiest move is an OC hire. The only other name that I really haven't heard much of, I don't know if anything's going on, but didn't Raheem Morris get fired? What's going on there?
He's a defensive guy.
Okay, that will explain it. Thank you.
Shareholders who listened to the last episode will remember that from the last part of the episode. Here it is again. If you didn't get it that first time, Mike McCarthy, you know what he does get, like you said, is mediocrity. And if you're a front office that really doesn't care about Super Bowls and just wants to fill seats, he will fill seats because your team's going to be like decent. You're guaranteed he's going to be he's going to get you 6 to 10 wins, nothing more. So
I hate to. It's not that I don't think any of us outside of the fandom are necessarily rooting against him. I just think like as a fan, like I think as much as we love Dan Campbell, if we have 2 more seasons in a row of 9-8, we're gonna get restless. It's just gonna happen. I think the same thing about. It's so hard to say this about Nick Sirianni. That roster is so talented. There's no reason they shouldn't be at least in the NFC Championship game every single year. And this happened the last time they won a Super Bowl. They had a little bit of a hangover, but I don't know. I know it's hard to repeat, but Patriots did it. Chiefs have done it. At least been super competitive every year. I just see all the talent that some of these coaches have. And I guess you could make the same argument for the Lions this year. They had a ton of talent, but we're on the outside looking in I think that we know like the Lions offensive line is a huge problem, which means for Jared Goff, a huge problem, and defensive injuries. I don't know what those other guys have, but yeah, I think Eagles had a ton of starters out there tonight, ton of talent on defense. AJ Brown is an absolute clown show. Just chirp, chirp, chirp all year. We don't do enough. Dude, catch the ball. I'm sure you guys saw Sirianni get into him on the side. I loved it. You wanted the ball, we're throwing it to you, and then you don't catch it.
He didn't catch one down the stretch, too. I don't know if you were in the Tubbs situation there, but he missed a big-time drop on 3rd or 4th down.
Another third down, yeah. I thought even the one Brady was kind of giving him a little of a breakdown right before the 3rd down he dropped right after that. I thought he pulled up. Like, I think he heard footsteps and was like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking a pop for this.
Felt like it, that says everything about him, right? And the Eagles, to your point, that team is everything about Howie Roseman than it is Sirianni. That team is all Howie Roseman, not Sirianni. I mean, that's
what I think.
He built it from the GM out, not so much the coach out, like a lot of teams are. Put it this way, I guess, is Sirianni's not getting anything more out of those guys than what they are. They are what they are. He's not a coach. Dan Campbell, coaches like that will get more out of the talent that's on the field. Sirianni is kind of the beneficiary of a really good owner who is aggressive and always making moves and salary cap genius. Eagles fans have him to thank more than Sirianni, that's for sure. Mitch, before you jumped on, Andrew and I were talking about it. Did you catch anything of Brad Holmes' little press conference he had earlier this week?
The other day? Yep.
Andrew was kind of feeling...
I love that. It seems like he knows what the issues are.
Andrew's feeling a little eerie, like he's worried there might not be enough aggression and feels like it's a little too status quo for him.
Well, so I guess my opinion, he talked about the things that irritated us the most during the season. He to me addressed the 5 biggest things. I think that's what I saw. Like, here's the five main things. Like, he talked about offensive line. He talked about defense. Talked about edge rush. What did you want him to like go tarps off, or what didn't land for you?
No, I think I would just like to hear him say that he's going to be at least a little more aggressive in free agency. All I heard was, well, there's a lot of things you didn't see where we tried to get guys. And I totally get it. But like, the offensive line is such an issue. And he thinks he's got his 3 interior guys, but 2 injuries is like complete decimation. And I think like the left tackle situation, when he was talking about that and Manu, how it seems like Manu's pretty much in place and that he's our development guy, but, you know, he's going to have to fight for a role. But Decker, I mean, I don't know what you took from that. It seems like Decker's like officially retired.
So, yeah, I think so.
But that was my biggest thing. Is free agency and like the offensive line addressing. Seems like we're just a couple pieces away. We're gonna do what we've done. We're there. We just need to get our OC and then we're good to go. That's what it seemed like to me. And it's like, I feel like offensive line just needs to be addressed much heavier, along with tight end, like adjacent to the offensive line.
So two things. First, I think he tried to say without saying, yeah, we learned from getting, and he kind of threw Ragnow under the bus a little bit. Like, we learned from getting screwed by Ragnow. Like, that was a problem and it set us back from the jump, right? So I liked that he kind of called that out and was like, yeah, here's where the ball started, the poop ball. I don't think he's going to come right out and say like, yeah, we got to go get a left tackle. Like, that you can't do that to Manu. I think like the free agent thing, I just think Brad honestly believes the best way to build an organization is drafting. I think he talked about that a little bit too, or hinted at it a little. They are going to continue to draft and pay. And you can't always do that, right? Because you're going to run out of money at some point, but that's how he wants to build the culture in the organization. So I get what you're saying, because I think, 2 years ago we were screaming for them to sign Za'Darius, and it took way too long, and other stuff happened. So he's just not a splashy free agency guy. I think every year we talk about it and we want it, and it's just never going to happen. And that's because he wants to bring guys in and show how loyal he is. Second, I think they are a couple pieces away. Maybe no pieces away, but pieces aren't worth a shit if you can't keep them healthy and on the field. So now we're just right back to, what are we going to do to change it up to avoid all these dings and dents? And you can only do so much with freak injuries like Achilles and stuff. But I think starting wise, they're a couple pieces away. If not, like, the team is there. But you were saying with the offensive line, they have to find a way to build some depth in totality. They got to find a way to keep these guys healthy. And he talked about Kirby a little bit too. And sounds like missing the postseason is the best thing that could have happened for Kirby, or they just kept trying to like, oh, we held out hope. That to me was the most upsetting part. There's no excuse for the way they handled Kirby Joseph's injury. Absolutely no excuse. Other than that, I thought it was fine. But they do need to add depth and quality depth. And probably the offensive line is one of the harder places to do that.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you a little more, and I get what you're saying. I just think it's really difficult when the Chicago Bears went and got 3 starting offensive linemen in free agency this offseason, if not 4, right? And
Unheard of.
I get that they had a lot of draft capital previous years, but I mean, come on. I think that's the upsetting part, and it's like, but he 100% threw Ragnow under the bus because I think he got asked directly when they knew Ragnow was gonna retire, and he said, there was rumblings and they had conversations, but officially not till after the draft is what he said.
Just bad. It's bad. You can't do that. Can't do that. Yeah, I think all that to say, there's growing concern that his sit on hands, build to the draft approach could come back to bite them and potentially miss out on the window. I think that's the biggest concern that fans have.
If that's the way you do it, if your entire strategy is to build through the draft, you're kind of like, right now is the first time the rubber's gonna hit the road, because right now, realistically, is those fringe guys. We got to pick up those 5th-year options, or we just are about to pay some of those first, second-year guys. So,
yeah,
it's definitely a long-term strategy. Yeah, go ahead.
I totally get that build to the draft, right? But like Zeitler from the year before, like that's the perfect like free agency pickup. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like you need at least one of them in the offensive lineman room a year, and that wasn't there, especially in a year that was probably the most vital for it.
Yep.
And maybe they do that, right? And what I'd like, it's hard to say, or it's easy to say now because we don't really know. I haven't looked, and God knows I don't know anyways. But maybe Decker retires and they get some money and they get some flexibility to say, hey, we want to go get the anchor to the other side of the offensive line because we have a giraffe back there that needs to be protected, and since he doesn't like to climb the pocket, we need some tackles that'll just take guys 50 yards back downfield. So maybe they do that, or maybe they go, hey, we really like these 3 tackles in the first round. We think we can get them in the top 20 picks. So let's go pay another inside guy like Zeitler. So
yeah,
I think, again, they definitely learned from the Ragnow thing, and there's more than rumblings with Decker. I got to imagine they're sitting down and are like, what's the deal, dude? And if you're coming back, how healthy are you?
Yeah, and listening to you talking about our beloved giraffe just not climbing in the pocket as well made me think of another thing. Do you think that's the reason Hutchinson gets so deep?
Man, just again in practice.
he's just Pavloved by Goff in practice.
He's just used to going 20 yards upfield and popping somebody.
He'll get to me eventually.
Yeah, it very well could be.
Yeah, honestly, there might be some truth to that. Just pulled up a list of 2026 left tackle free agents. There's obviously a handful of them, more than a handful. But there will be some options on the free agency market for them to go after one of these tackles. But like you said, Andrew, Bears went out, were aggressive in many areas, including the offensive line, which is kind of unheard of. You don't see a lot of free agency moves with offensive lines. Of course, you get pieces here and there, but not to the level that they did. And they paid those guys really, really well.
They completely rebuilt an offensive line. They did it through the draft and free agency. You're right. Unheard
because Ben Johnson knew, right? Like that was the key to success in Detroit. And I mean, again, I see what you're saying. I get it. I think the timing of the Ragnow thing, and this is just making excuses at this point, it just threw everything they had off. Yeah, I don't know. I get it. They are, but that's the strategy. All that to say, like, we can get as frustrated as we want. He's made it clear, which I can at least appreciate the transparency of him. Like, this is the way we want to build our team. And it's for better or worse. And I think, again, we're coming up on the next couple of years here where we really are going to find out if it's for better or for worse.
It's funny that you said all that because it's exactly what Andrew and I said. We said, and to quote us, we said this is a big time prove it year for the front office and the head coaching staff.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I
don't know if it's like a prove it year. I think they could go. I think they could go 6 wins next year and they'd be fine. Honestly,
Ooh. Ooh.
you don't think so?
Ooh. You got the floor at
You don't
6?
think you don't think Brad and Dan have bought themselves a ton of leash?
Oh,
in
no.
Detroit?
No, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. No, I don't see a situation where they move on from either one of those guys, regardless of the win totals next year. I'm saying like through this year's draft and offseason is.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he struck gold those first couple of years, but I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say Tyreek really blew the doors off anyone this year,
Nope, first round
figuratively
talent.
or literally.
Yeah, I mean Roy Lopez, best player in that room this season, and he was, not somebody that
And
we
they're gonna have to
expected.
pay him if they want him to stay.
Yeah. Aleem certainly wasn't the top of the list this year at the D tackle
Oh
position.
man, that's tough. That's the tough one too, because he was so good. You pay him the second you pay him, he gets hurt, and he didn't. He just didn't come back. So hopefully a full, he got some game experience, healthy off season. There's a lot of guys that got to step up next year, and I expect Kirby, Aleem, Branch is basically on a contract year, and whether they sign him or not, he's gonna have to ball out because he's gonna want to get paid. If it's not Detroit, somewhere else.
Kirby, yeah, we'll see with that injury, but Kirby, another guy that just got paid as well, so it's that one hurts too. He's
He
at
had some bad luck. Last
super
couple
bad luck.
guys. Super bad luck.
Super bad
on.
luck.
Yeah, it feels like you missed that one. That was a layup.
It's the off season, man. I'm already thinking tropics in my mind. This is the off season, baby. When you're eliminated before the playoffs come, take an edge off. But yeah, it's going to be an opportunity in this draft. A lot of offensive line, a lot of defensive talent. Some of the things that they need. So make it happen, Brad. Schedule wise for 2026, as we look ahead to that, we know this season was a really tough strength of schedule. We knew that going into the offseason. It was going to be a tough year, not compared to the year they had prior, which was a softer schedule. This season, upcoming, obviously, 6th in strength of schedule. So top 1/3 of the league easiest. Of course, this is based on the records this season, but I guess that's a silver lining. When you finish 4th in your division, you get to play some of the 4th place teams in the other divisions. So that'll land you the 6th easiest schedule. Bears next season, by the way, have the hardest strength of schedule. So maybe we see the Bears kind of come back down to earth. I think that's got potential to happen. I think they've out exceeded any expectations that anybody could have had by the season that they've had. Granted, they played a Packers team that's beat up, a team that they've played twice this season, and I don't know how much of a barometer you can put on that game for the Bears, but we'll see next week when they play the Rams, who's a legit team, although struggled against the Panthers. But it's been kind of that year. It's been a really hard year to predict who wins these games, who advances. A totally wide open year, and that does scare me about the Bears because this could be one of those weird, wacky years where there's not a ton of top level talent, and the Bears find their way. Not going to say where, but Bears find their way somewhere.
Nope.
Bleep it.
If by some miracle they make it past the Rams, they won't. There's no chance they go to the Super Bowl. No,
the
chance.
Hawks are too good. The Hawks are actually really good, and I think it'd be tough for anybody to bounce the Hawks unless they get in Sam Darnold's head and turn him into a pumpkin.
We don't want that.
All of our teams still alive in our Super Bowl picks. Broncos, Rams, still alive. Of course, Rams beat the Panthers, barely. Patriots, Andrew, about to take place right now. And the Niners snuck one out today against Philly. So you're alive. Texans and Seahawks. Texans have yet to play. We'll have that one tomorrow against the Steelers. And, of course, the Hawks' #1 seed. So they'll be off until next week.
I'd like to propose a rule, as if I'm an NFL coach. If the ball carrier's feet both leave the ground, they're down. They are down. This carrying players and pushing and it's got to stop. The Josh Allen today, number one, that spot that the Bills got to go from 4th and 1 to 4th and inches was egregious. Like
Hold on.
they got at least an extra half a yard.
Hold
I
on.
think.
Hold on. I
Go
think I
ahead.
know what you're arguing against, but
Uh-huh.
say your rule again. Word it for me
Okay,
again.
I'm sorry. If a player's the ball carrier's feet both leave the ground, if both leave the ground assisted,
Okay.
There
no
you go.
forward progress can be gained. I should have done the
Parentheses.
assisted part.
It was like
Assist-
when they can't jump anymore.
I'm not going to take away Saquon's reverse hurdle. No.
Cement.
Yeah, there's some language. There's lawyers for this kind of nonsense. You guys knew what I meant. But the way that game ended, I think the Jags got so robbed. That spot sucked. There's no way it should have been. That referee just kept moving. I'm like, what? Where's he going? Where's he going?
No, Mitchell, they didn't get robbed. We were all robbed of the Duval.
Yeah,
we were all. Yeah, we were
Ooh,
all
Mitch.
robbed.
That was really good. Leon Cohen.
Yes.
Who Ben?
I think I just combined his first name and his last name.
Yeah, Cohen.
Cohen. What's
okay,
his first
Liam
name?
Cohen.
Liam.
Like, but I just like, because to me, and maybe the Bills do the tush push anyways, but maybe not. If it's 4th and 1 instead of 4th and inches, do they do the tush push? And then to see that happen where he literally gets lifted up for like a full 2 yards, and then they keep pushing the pile. It was just the play that never would have ended, and I think that there's no place for that. And we were kind of joking, like, Andrew, you said it, and I said it basically at the same time, like, it's just not football. And it feels very much, Andrew, you said, get off my lawn, but it's just not football. To carry somebody else, to literally scrum it to the end zone, I
think
I
it
thought
was
that
you
was a
that
really
said it
crappy
best.
way.
Is
I
it
think
rugby?
it was rugby. I think Jags fans got absolutely robbed and pickpocketed at the end of that game. That sucked.
And to lose it on an interception on a drive where they could have gone down and to win the game was even more tragic. They had their chance. That's tough. Liam Cohen's definitely secured himself there long term, though. It feels like he's got something going there in Jacksonville. I think they will be back. Did you guys catch Diney Rossini? I think is her name. Reporter.
Diana Rossini?
Rossini?
That seemed disrespectful to say the least.
Are you
I'm not
you're
a
really
name
struggling
guy.
with names? Did you just call her Diney?
Diana.
Andrew, what did he say the first time?
He's trying to crawl himself out of a hole. That was a circus name.
If you didn't call her Diney, you would have called her Diney. It was weird.
Combining first names and last name. We're just meshing everything together today.
Yeah. Someone's in the kitchen.
kitchen.
I know.
No. Thanks for getting me out of there. Anyway, she tweeted that somebody was delivering a bottle of tequila to the 49ers locker room, and they assumed it could be for no one else but George Kittle in the locker room before the game ended. So I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's another guy. I might be team. I don't know. There's a lot of teams that I think like I find myself rooting for. I think outside of the Bears and the Bills, I'm kind of just over the Bills. I think Josh Allen is just like the ultimate crybaby when it comes to when he gets touched. Oh, give me a roughing the passer. I'm just over it. That's another guy though. Like Kittle's one of those dudes that just deserves a ring. Obviously, he's not going to be on the field the rest of the year. It's a really tough way to go out for a guy that seems like he's just one of the dudes.
Yeah, it is. And like I told you guys, if the Bills draw the Broncos next week, that matchup, I don't know. I think the Bills could win that game against the Broncos team if they find a way to put up points against that Broncos defense. I'm not so sold on the Broncos. Sorry, Mitch.
No, their offense is not good. Like they hopefully over these last, it'll be 2 weeks by next week, they figured out a way to play offense. Because it's just not there. Their defense is so good. But
they might have a Russ versus Russ situation there. I don't know.
Maybe. Good thing Sirianni rested all the Eagles starters.
Yeah, rusty. So yeah, the Eagles don't make it back to the NFC Championship. That was a trivia or a true or false question. I think we had fact or fiction, I should say, from way back when. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see next week divisional round if it lives up to what the wild card has been thus far, which has come down to
3 games.
the last 2 minutes of. Yeah, it's NFL is loving every second of this, and fans alike. Do you guys see this from Peacock potentially offering fans to control the announcer and the crowd noise? You could just mute the announcers if you didn't want to listen to them, and this is something they might bring to the NBA first because they've got a lot of money in the NBA right now, but something they might bring to football as well.
Let me stop. I saw a little head shaking going on in one of these little, squares. You're going to sit here and tell me, Andrew, that if you had the ability to mute Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma, you wouldn't do it?
Just give me the ability to cover them with the radio guys is all I'm asking.
Now you're asking for too much.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Just turn the radio. That's what I'm saying. You can mute, but you can listen to Dan Miller and Lomas and TJ Lang, and you get the game noise, but you don't have to listen to Vilma say 18 people's names wrong 18 times each.
Well, I think we just need better commentary. I think we got to stop handing out. I mean, those are like pixie dust.
Preach.
Excuse me, that's a little more rare of a find. These are like bananas at a grocery store. Sorry,
these are like
Oreos.
magicians.
Oreos.
You can't just find good magicians anywhere.
Hey, buddy, let me tell you, this guy blew my socks off, okay?
Wow, hit a nerve there.
How did he do it? Nobody knows. He got our name on the same card.
Hey, I mean, there's nothing that tops a good magician. Certainly not any snowblowers that I've ever seen.
Playoff win, maybe. Not that we would fucking know.
Ooh. NSFW, Tommy, slap it on this episode once again.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
It's crazy to believe it's been 2 years. That's sad and tragic all in one there. Anyway, that is an enhancement that is coming to Peacock eventually, and maybe to some of the other streaming services. Of course, broadcast, you wouldn't be able to do that, but on a streaming service like Prime, like Peacock, like Netflix, could be an option going forward.
Interesting, too, because I think NBC and Peacock have the rights to the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, it's this season. I think NBC has it, right?
I think it's Fox this year. I think it's Fox this year and NBC next year. I could be wrong. You are in the industry, so I guess you would know.
I thought that's why we were getting the leak of the NBC new scorebug, but you might be right there. Is it a Tom Brady, Kevin Burkhardt Super Bowl?
Oh God.
You don't like it? I don't think they're bad.
I don't think they're bad. I just think like Tom Brady should have to earn it a little bit, right?
NBC, by the way, for those at home.
It is NBC this year.
Super Bowl 60.
So then is it? Oh, is it 60? Oh, I probably read 2025 as in like 2025 season. So then it goes back to CBS, right? And then it'll be Fox.
Yeah, I think NBC traded this one actually because NBC has the Olympics this year, and
they
so
can pull trades.
Yeah, you can pull a trade. Hey, you can do anything with billions of dollars. You can do anything you want. You can trade whatever you want, my friend.
Yeah, anything's tradable.
Yeah. Oh, believe me. Last thing before we get out of here, guys, did you have anything else about the Lions? It's been basically everything that I've seen is offensive coordinator and Morton gone.
The Meta Glasses video from St. Brown, pretty sick if you guys haven't seen it.
Catching balls off the jug machine?
Yeah, throws the Meta Glasses on. It's pretty cool.
I don't think I need to watch it. I think you just showed me.
Okay, well, there we go. That's it.
I think that also would have meant more to me if he didn't have like 10 drops this year.
On third down, especially.
Yeah. He's got to earn back the third round.
Jug machine never makes it to third down. There we go. We figured it out.
There it is. There it is. We're really cracking the code on this episode.
Love
This
you
was a-
though, St. Brown. If you just happen to tune in, it's okay. I know you probably played through injuries all year.
He already tuned out after we talked.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a collaboration with the St. Brown podcast. That would be our big moment.
Yeah, let's see if that works.
Ye of little faith, my friend.
Okay.
Well, shareholders, thanks for being here. Trivia time before we get you guys out of here. Guys, how many NFL stadium title sponsors, think like Ford Field, are named after banks?
Do you know?
I
This
do.
pop quiz?
I do.
8.
I was going to say 10.
You guys would both be high there. It's 6.
Name 'em.
Everbank, home of Duval. M&T Bank, Baltimore Ravens. SoFi Stadium, home of the Rams.
Well, Rams and
Rams and Chargers. You're right. That is true. Chargers are a team. I believe the Browns, I think the Browns have a bank. And then there's 2 more. So
Is
there
this
you go.
fact or I think it's fact?
I looked it up last week and I don't remember them all.
Okay, fair enough.
But those are the ones that I remember off the top of my head. I know that I know there's 2 more on like the East Coast, but yeah, there you go. Trivia time. For those who didn't know, 6 NFL stadiums named after banks. Yeah. What do we got?
can I ask you guys one last
Yes,
one
please.
last thing before we jump up? Do you guys have a preference between Indiana and Miami, or a prediction, or both?
No preference. No dog in that fight. It seems like Indiana is on another level. So I think Indiana wins, but hope it's a good game.
Yeah, I can't say anything else, Marv. I mean, you know my viewership.
Yeah, we need the college football expert for this part.
I like Sig though. I respect the dude whose nickname is Sig. First and second, he's just like unapologetically himself. I like that, and to take the losingest program in college football history and take him to the national championship, I think that's pretty cool. And I think Marvin Harrison's a clown on the sidelines. Or
That's
All
a
right.
ready Marv.
yeah.
How about that guy in Indiana though? Do you think he's the next Nick Saban?
He could be.
Kind of feels like it. The way he's walked into that program and completely put them on the map and changed everything about Indiana football for the foreseeable future. It seems with the team he's built there.
Not Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know where you were going with Maserati Marv there.
No, not Marvin Harrison. Who's the receiver? Who's
For Miami?
No, the old receiver.
What?
He was in longest yard. I'm drawing.
Yeah,
a
no, I
blank.
know who you're talking about. Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin. Yeah,
God.
I'm sorry.
Holy hell!
I was cleaning. I had to clean poop out of a tub. Michael Irvin. I'm done. I'm done with the antics on the sideline.
The belt to ass.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
weird.
done. I think Indiana is about to give Miami some BTA.
Oh man, they got the buckles in Indiana.
Michael Irvin, I think, is solely doing that just to catch up on some or attract the snow bunnies, right?
He's some kind of snow. Some kind of snow going on.
And isn't the national championship in Miami this year?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
playing.
boy.
I think at Hard Rock.
Oh boy.
Jeez, oh Peds.
Lots of runny noses.
And that's your show here on the Lions Share podcast. Thank you, shareholders, for being here. Shout out to the YouTube and the Spotify video if you're watching us. We see you and we thank you. We will be back for the divisional round next week, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have a new offensive coordinator for the Lions. Probably not, though. That'll probably wait a few more weeks, and maybe we'll get some Taylor Decker news, too. People Become a shareholder today if you aren't already. Watch us on YouTube, like, follow, and rate us on Spotify and Apple. Follow on TikTok and Instagram. Next episode, divisional weekend. Let's go Pistons. Let's go Lions.
Meow.